All right, so welcome everyone to the It's iBUG'S Life for January 25th, 2024. First It's iBUG'S Life of the year. We have a fun evening ahead. Real quick, we're going to go over some quick announcements pertaining to the upcoming events this weekend. So for tomorrow, we have the movie, our iBug Night at the Virtual Movies, and we're going to be watching The Holdovers, brand new 2023 movie, up for an Oscar or two. Come check it out. That'll be at 8 p.m. Social time 7:15. Discussion and trivia to follow. We do a little name that tune and some silly jokes and all that, so come before the movie and hang out with us. Saturdays, it's the Apple Workshop special show and tell edition. And we're going to be talking about all kinds of stuff, headphones, keyboards, and all the other stuff in between, and lots of miscellaneous stuff. So it should be really interesting. So please come for that. That's Saturday from 2 to 4 Central on the same Zoom call. And then back on Monday, we'll have our buzz call from 7 to 9, all things relating to your iPhone. Then what? It's the end of the month. So then be looking for the calendar of events. Will be coming out pretty soon. That'll tell you everything that we're going to be doing in February. And then we will have Trekkie Talk next Tuesday. The movie next Friday, the following Friday. And we'll have, iBug Unplugged on February 3rd. So we got lots of good things coming, and we hope that you'll join us. Definitely visit our website and register. All of the services and programs are free. So we're going to quickly open it up here. Okay, so we can. All right. So y'all are able to unmute now, so you can go ahead. Please tell us who you are and where you're from, and maybe the icebreaker is, have you ever made soup before, whether from scratch or a can or a package or so we'll be very liberal on what it means to make soup. So who'd like to go first?
This is Sarah
Okay, Sarah.
from Vermont,
Uh-huh.
and I make soup all the time, and it's always from scratch.
Oh, fancy. All right, thanks, Sarah.
Not so.
Yeah, keep going.
This is Jody in New
Uh-huh.
Hampshire. Hi,
Uh-huh.
Sarah. And yes, I do too.
Okay, very good. Thank you. Who else?
This is Vincent in New Jersey, and I also make soups.
I'm coming to your house, guys. Okay, just so far away. That's the only problem. Okay, keep going. Who else?
This is Desi from Franklin. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead, Desi.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
This is Desi from Franklin, Tennessee.
Audio now unmuted.
Okay.
It's Rose. Hi, Sandra. This is Rosalie from New York.
Okay. Hi, Rosalie. Welcome. Okay, guys, remember, once you're done speaking, stay on mute. If you've got Jaws talking, you got to turn it off or put some headphones on. Okay, come back, Desi.
This is Desi in Franklin, Tennessee, and yes, I do make soups from scratch as well.
Oh boy. Okay, thank you. Okay, who else?
Mary Ellen Earl, Scottsdale.
Okay, Mary Ellen, go ahead.
Mary Ellen Earl, Scottsdale, Arizona, and no, I do not make soup of any kind.
Good, I feel better now. Okay, who else?
This is Ruthie
from Chicago.
Hey, Atel, go ahead.
Yes, I make soups from scratch.
Okay, well, there we go. Okay, who else?
This is Ruthie Tips.
Yes, welcome.
And my husband is the one that makes the soup.
Nice. Does he have a brother or anything? You know?
No, unfortunately, he only has a sister.
Oh, no, thanks. But where are you from? You're new, right, to this call?
Well, yeah, I am. I've been out here for the movies and stuff. I actually am originally from Chicago, Illinois,
Oh,
but I live in Oklahoma now.
okay. Well, very good. We're glad to have you. Thanks for coming.
You're welcome.
All right. Who
I'm
else?
Pete Lane from Florida, and I have made soup, but not recently.
Okay. Thanks, Pete. All right. Who else?
Hi, I'm Michelle from New York.
Uh-huh.
And I'm a little embarrassed with all these great soup
Don't be
makers here.
embarrassed.
I've made canned soup, but I've
Okay.
never made soup from scratch. No.
Hey, that counts. You opened the whole can by yourself, right? Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah, that's tough
Good
work.
true.
job. Good job. Okay. We'll
That's
have
what
our
I
own
do.
little class by ourselves, okay, Michelle? That's like, all right. Who else?
I love you. You're so funny. It's Vanessa from Georgia.
Hey,
And yes,
Vanessa. I bet you make
hey,
soup. You're going to
I
embarrass
do
us
from
all.
scratch. I do.
Oh, my God. Oh, okay. Go ahead. Good, good. Glad to have you. Not really, but okay. Okay, who else?
This is Dan from Southern California. I make soup from a can, and I used Be My AI to get the information off the can. That is amazing.
That is so awesome. Technology in a can. Very good, Dan. Wow, and I'm poetic too.
Check
Okay,
in
all
a
right.
can.
Very good. Thank you, Dan. That's my like of cooking. Okay, who else? Who else? Who else? Anybody else? Who are you? Where are you from? And have you made soup of any kind? Scratch, can, or a package?
Elizabeth from Newfoundland, Canada.
Yes.
I make pea soup a lot
Oh,
from
okay.
scratch.
Cool. Very good. Very good. Thank you, Elizabeth.
Yeah.
Anybody else?
In California.
Hey.
Hi. I love soup. I make soup all the time and from scratch.
Okay, very good. Thank you. Who else? Anybody else? Okay, I guess me. Does ramen noodles count? Don't tell George, okay? I
That's not soup.
Y'all are snickering at me. I feel hurt.
This is Marcia.
Hey, Marcia.
I live on soups, and I make soup. You know, I have soup for 4 days, and then I have something else, and I make it. So I just wanted to see if you'd give me something different.
All right. Well, thank you. And you make it from scratch, sounds like, huh, Mary? No, it's
Marcia,
Marcia.
I've got some split peas out that I'm going to soak and see if I can make split pea soup.
Okay, very good. Okay,
Love
well, in
the
honesty,
split
I
pea.
have made a potato soup by myself. So there you go. All right, now
So
we're
dousing
going.
it with butter doesn't count.
Yeah, butter, bacon, and carrots. You can't mess it up. So, all right, we are going to hand it over to our host with the most. Well, George, are you there?
I am here. Can I be
Boy,
heard?
yeah, you got some big competition here, George.
I know I'm a little intimidated. Maybe we need to
Yeah.
change the topic because I'm not going to show nobody anything today. Y'all might can show me something.
It's all about sharing our knowledge.
Excuse me, I'm all choked up.
I know.
You can make a souffle. It starts with the same three
Ah,
letters.
she's so clever.
I've never had souffle, so I don't even know.
Okay, she'll be doing that next month. Okay, all right, keep
Yeah,
going.
yeah, you can pass it on exactly. Because all I hear about souffle is that you got to make sure it doesn't fall, so you can't
Yeah.
stump in the kitchen. So
That's right.
I don't even know what is it. Is it chocolate? What is souffle?
It can be chocolate, but it's made out of a lot of eggs. And so that's why it might fall, because eggs are very delicate when you.
Mm-hmm.
Takes a light hand.
I have to order that
And
because
it
I've
doesn't
never
have to
had
be
it.
chocolate.
I don't even know what it tastes like. I've never had it.
It's
I only hear
puffy.
about it on TVs and movies.
Al?
Anyway, good evening. Oh, go ahead. Who's about to say something?
Hi, this is Al. I'm sorry I couldn't unmute myself, but I was on before. And like to know how to make this vegetable soup. Excuse me.
Okay. Okay,
You're in
cool.
the right place, Al.
Cool. Well, less customary. Sometimes the topic that I bring to the forefront is people are experienced with it, which I don't mind gaining something, learning something, as well as sharing. So this is fine. what's going to happen this particular time, although we have a lot of people here who have done it before, we're going to do it my way. How about that? And here's the thing. When I made the soup, when I came up with this idea, I'm going to tell a short story as a reason why I'm choosing vegetable soup. Because every January, I go through my version of a Daniel fast. And what I do is, out of my diet, I take away all sugars, all meats, all breads, and all dairy, anything dairy. And that's tough for me because I love bacon. I eat bacon almost every day. So that sacrifice I do, and I do it for 21 days. So I have to come up with creative ways for me to appreciate fruits and vegetables. And, the first time I did it, I just did a lot of canned vegetables and probably seasoned them pretty good, just so I don't be starving and don't cheat or whatever. So then I decided, let me try to make a homemade vegetable soup. And just for some stuff that I already know how to do, as well as maybe going online, looking up some recipes, I decided to try it for the very first time ever, less than 2 weeks ago. And to my surprise, it came out very good. I was shocked. I was proud of myself that something that I did for the first time, something as I thought as challenging as that, came out pretty good. I ate it almost every day. It lasted, I think, maybe 4 or 5 days. And then I made some more last weekend at my daughter's apartment. She asked me to sit in her apartment while she went out of town for a couple of days to babysit her cat, which I don't have nothing against cats, but they, to me, unnecessary. And I'm sorry if I'm offending those of you who are cat lovers. They're okay. I'll let them sit in my lap. I'll pick them up, but I don't really need them. I mean, it's just a cat. But that's her baby. So I told her I would go over there. And so I made soup over there last Saturday, and it came out good again. But what I
George,
did, yes.
tell us the cat was not an ingredient in your soup.
It's not. No.
Okay.
No, 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 no. That is not going to happen. As a matter of fact, I didn't even give the cat any. So how about that? The cat ate his regular kibbles food. But we digressed a little bit. But anyway, it came out perfect. And what I did was I left the burner on real low that the pot was on because I was going to go back and eat me some like about an hour later. I wanted it to stay hot. But I left. And I didn't come back till like 2.5 hours later, wonder why I was still smelling the soup so good. And I thought, oh man, I forgot to turn the burner off when I left. But thankful me, it wasn't scorched or anything. And I thought it maybe cooked some of the flavor out of it a bit from when I first initially had tasted it. But my daughter ate some the next day and she sent me a text message that says, and this is her word, she said, that soup is good as hell. So she enjoyed it. I guess it came out pretty good. So I thought, okay. And actually, by making that soup, I'm one step to me closer to making that gumbo that I promised everybody that I'm going to come on here and give you guys a step on how to do it. So let's go ahead and get started. And for those who joined us late, the topic is we're going to make a homemade vegetable soup. It's going to be kind of homemade, and I'm going to also cheat a little bit. My ingredients, in case you guys are wondering what I'm going to be using, I'm going to be using a 6-quart pot, 6-quart size pot. I'm going to be using, I'm using a regular bowl that I usually eat salads out of, but I would say it's the equivalent of a mixing bowl, a medium-sized mixing bowl. I'm going to be using, as far as ingredients, I got a pack of frozen mixed vegetables. If you guys care about the brand name, I can probably scan that later to get you the exact name of that, but it's only 1 pound. It only costs 98 cents. I'm going to use a purple onion. I'm going to use Hunt's tomato paste, 2 cans of that. I'm going to use 1 can of tomato sauce. That's also by Hunt's. I'm going to use 6 red tiny potatoes. I forgot to take them out of the refrigerator. That's okay. They're right here. I can easily find them. And I'm going to use, I already said purple onion. I'm doing this by memory, although I think I text Sandia a list of all the ingredients that I'm going to be using. I'm going to use some Tony Chachere's, a little seasonal, and I'm going to saute my onions and potatoes in olive oil. And so what I'm doing right now, I took my fat out, set it on one burner. I'm going to set my my little tiny skillet on the burner, ready for me to saute. So the first thing I'm going to do, and as I usually do, my presentation is interactive. If anybody got something they want to add or want to say to me while I'm doing things I do, feel free to come off mute, say your name, wait to be recognized, and we will let you go ahead and make your comment or question or whatever you got to say. So I'm going to take half of a purple onion and I'm going to slice it. I'm going to slice it the manual way, meaning I'm not using no kind of automatic machine. I'm not using a, when I used to do, the job I used to do when I used to hand out supplies to some of the people that I serve, we had this thing called a guide knife, which basically it was like a big knife and it had a guard on the side and allows you to make even slices, good for presentations. And it's a big knife. But I'm using a regular knife. I'm not using a guide knife. I got just a regular knife that doesn't have blades on the ridges. And I apologize if you guys can hear all the things I'm messing with because we try to change my audio settings so you can actually hear the stuff that I'm doing. But the way it's set up, you probably only hear me talking. But basically, I'm taking a knife, I'm holding it with my left hand using my index finger and the middle finger and my thumb to hold it in place. And I'm taking a blade and I'm slicing it down to make like thin slices all the way down. I'm going to do this like about probably 3 times as I'm going to make slices because this is how I'm going to saute my onions by slicing them. I know they got all kind of. This is actually not one of the techniques I teach though. When I was a teacher and teach how to do things, I would have them use the guide knife, and I probably wouldn't have them slicing it the way I'm doing. And I'm doing it the way because I'm experienced, and this is to help us get through this really quickly. And this is definitely a real fresh onion too, because my eyes are starting to burn. My eyes don't get watery. I don't cry like somebody said when you slice an onion. Sometimes it makes you tear up. My eyes just burn. What happened to me? Okay, Dan was bored with this presentation. He left. But that's fine. This thing is strong. I probably should have prepared my onions first, but that's okay. I'm actually done. I have like enough onions that I can slice. And then what I'm going to do, I forgot one of my ingredients too, is going to be vinegar. And so what I'm going to do, I'm going to take my mixing bowl. What I was doing was I was slicing my onions over a small saucer to put them in there because I do not own a cutting board. That's going to go on my shopping list as things I need to purchase. I had a cutting board, but it served its course until it needed to be thrown away because it was all chopped up and just wasn't anymore good. And I don't want to slice this up on my counter because I don't want to mess up my kitchen counter too much. It's the one thing I need to tell my daughter because I saw where she needs a cutting board. I probably am going to buy her one because I saw some knife marks on her counter and I forgot to tell her about it. But she just moved into another apartment, so there's a whole lot of things that her dad's going to get her because she seems to be not mindful of getting those things that she needs. So what I'm going to do now, I'm placing the onions inside of the bowl. That would be the equivalent for you guys using a mixing bowl. And I'm going to pour some vinegar all over the onions. So let me get out my vinegar. Here you are. I got this Oh, and by the way, Sonia, I didn't turn on the video because I decided just not to.
Hey, George.
Yes.
Pete, what's the purpose of the vinegar?
It's when you saute it, it helps to soften it. It also gives it a flavor.
Okay.
You know, it's for flavor and texture.
Thank you.
And I read that somewhere. So that's why I'm doing it. Someone else wants to call for the floor? I thought I had another voice.
Is it white or red vinegar?
It's white.
Thank you.
It's white vinegar. I only know that because I asked somebody when I was buying for it. I don't know if red vinegar has a different taste. I think I did see that, but no, I'm using the white clear vinegar. I don't know if red vinegar has a different smell, but vinegar, if anybody's never messed with that before, it has a loud type of sour smell. And so now I'm going to sprinkle some sea salt over the onions that is soaking in the vinegar right now. So I'm not using the salt shaker. I just got a box of sea salt and I'm shaking it lightly with my right hand. I'm using my left hand to making sure it's going all over the onions and into the bowl and not anywhere else, not outside of the bowl. Sauteing my onions probably is going to take me about less than maybe 5 to 10 minutes. All right. So what I'm going to do next is, hold on, make sure I bring my phone with me because I'm plugged into a wire headset and not a wireless headset. And if I put the phone down, you guys probably wouldn't hear me too well. So I just want to make sure I'm being broadcasted pretty good. I'm taking about 1/3 of a cup of this olive oil and I'm going to pour it into the skillet. When I read somewhere, they said use a large skillet. I didn't really need to use a large skillet because it is just me. Unfortunately, I am a bachelor, live alone, so I have to learn. Although I only can prepare food that will feed several people, so usually when I cook something, it's going to last for a few days because I'm the only one here. Okay, I got olive oil on the bottom of the skillet. That 1/3 of a cup is enough to cover the whole bottom of the skillet. And probably, I don't measure how deep it is. And so now while that's getting hot, what I'm also going to do now while waiting for the olive oil to heat up, and it should take like probably about 2 minutes to heat up, I'm going to take some carrots. Oh, did I mention carrots when I was listing my ingredients? If I did not, I apologize. Carrots is also the thing I'm going to use. I got some fresh carrots that I just bought from Walmart today on my lunch break. And I'm only going to take 2 of them. And I'm going to slice them up. And my slices are going to be probably about, I don't know, 2/8 of an inch or maybe an 1/8 of an inch thick. I'm going to use that same knife that I use to slice up my onions. And basically, I'm laying the carrot down on the saucer. I'm putting the knife on it, and I'm just going to saw. You guys can't hear it, but I am sawing, and it's chopping. And again, I'm just making like tiny little slices. Then I'm also going to saute them as well. Go ahead, Sandia.
Did you peel the carrots first?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Some people do it. Some people do peel them. Some don't. I think it's best to do it. That's just me. Just like some people, when they cook potatoes, they don't peel them. They claim that the ingredients in there, but no, I peel.
This is Sarah.
Hey, Sarah, go ahead.
If they're organic, it's probably not a big deal to peel them. Same thing with potatoes.
I don't think they're organic.
Sure.
I didn't ask for it. I just grabbed.
No, but I mean, just making sure.
Yeah.
I guess that
no,
you know,
these are not
everything's
organic.
healthy.
Mm-hmm. So I'm slicing one up, and the only reason I'm doing this because I'm waiting for the oil to heat up.
Hi, George, Vanessa.
Hey, Vanessa, how you doing?
I'm well, thank you.
Okay.
So, have you ever sauteed your vegetables in water or vegetable broth?
I have not. What's vegetable broth? That's as you know that I haven't because I don't even know what that means. Yeah.
Oh, vegetable broth?
What's that?
Oh, you can. Oh, it's a broth. It's they have chicken broth, they have vegetable broth.
I know about chicken
I mean,
broth
maybe you heard of
because I
chicken.
use chicken
Oh,
broth
they
in
have
my cornbread dressing.
Oh, yeah, sounds delicious. Okay, well, I'm sorry, I said vegetable broth because that's what I use. But yeah, chicken broth or vegetable broth. And when I saute my vegetables, I saute them in water.
Just water, plain water.
Just one tablespoon of olive oil is 125 calories. And it does the same things, and it's more healthy, of course. So
Okay. Well,
yeah, just give you that little nugget.
Vanessa, I will tell you, for the most part, and I heard you just one moment, I am not the healthiest eater.
Oh, okay. That's okay.
But I thank you for the tip. But I may try that. Like I told you, when I got the recipe, is what I read somewhere because I had never done it before. But
yeah,
okay,
yeah.
I will try that. Who was wanting before?
It was Desi, and I just
Hey,
was going
Desi.
to tell you that I actually would go for the olive oil, and I'll tell you why, because olive oil is a very healthy oil for one thing, and it adds some extra wonderful flavor to the soup, which I wouldn't want to be without. I probably wouldn't use a whole third of a cup. I probably would use maybe a couple of tablespoons, but yeah, I would definitely go with the olive oil.
I
Okay.
agree too.
And you know what, guys? I know I told you guys I used a third of a cup. Basically, what I did was I poured from the bottle and I just guessed. And I just assumed the amount I put in there may have been like a third of a cup. It may be less than a third, but just enough that it's greased in the bottom of the skillet is what I did. So it may be less than a third. I'm not sure. I will measure it. And one is a Sunday, I promise. I know I told you guys when I do something, I was going to put some exact measurements so people can actually follow. And I still haven't done it yet. But the next time I cook something, we will have, especially when I do that gumbo, that has to probably be exact measurements at first before I do it. Okay. My skillet is talking to me. Let me know. Go ahead. Who wants to talk?
This is Marcia.
Hey, Marcia.
I don't know what's in your mixed vegetables, but and I've never heard of sautéing carrots, but I think that's a wonderful idea. And I guess you saute the potatoes too, huh?
I did the first time I did it. The second time I did not. I boiled them.
And so with the mixed vegetables, what's in that? Like broccoli and corn?
There's corn, there's green peas, there's green beans, and something else I don't remember. I think it might be broccoli.
I got one of those gloves from Amazon that protect your fingers because I don't know, especially doing that onion and trying to slice it thin when it gets down to the last part of it. And I've found that glove has saved my fingers a lot of times.
Yeah, and that's the safe way. Um, and I use, like I say, when I teach it, I will have all kind of safety mechanisms in place. The glove, you right? Like I said, a guide knife is another thing that I have used before for presentations. I think I'm going to boil the potato. I think I said I was going to saute, but I think I'm going to boil them. And what I'm going to do, this does allow me to do multiple things at a time. Potatoes, yes, I do peel them as well. Now, potatoes, when you boil them and you boil them for like 20 minutes on medium heat, you can to peel them, you can either use a potato peeler if you have that, if you had such a tool, or if not, it make it soft enough that you can just pinch it, like use your fingernail, pinch it, and just peel the skin off. And it comes off quite easily.
Are you doing that whole? Are you boiling those potatoes whole?
Yeah, they're real tiny. They're tiny whole potatoes, but I am going to slice them. I'm not going to put them in a soup bowl. I'm going to slice them. Just like I sliced the carrots and the onion. Okay, that's enough of them. Put some water in here. Go ahead, Sandy.
Yeah, I just hate peeling potatoes because I can feel that I haven't gotten it all off, and I like the idea of, I know I've heard that, boil it and then peel it off, wait for it to cool, obviously, and I like that idea because I can never get it all off.
You don't
So,
have any fingernails?
and I'm gonna end up shaving off most of the potato in the process. So, all right, thank you, George. I tell you, this is why I don't
This is
cook.
Terry.
I do try. Okay, there's Terry Ann. Okay.
Go ahead, Terry. I'm not
I
laughing
don't.
at you, Sandy. I'm laughing with you.
Yeah, me
If you
too.
buy that.
I
If you
can
buy
relate.
it.
I hate peeling potatoes. I'm not good at it. Sometimes I'll use an electric potato peeler kind of thing or a hand crank one, but I
They have
normally
electric potato
leave the
peelers?
peels on,
They have electric
regardless of.
potato peelers. Never heard of that.
Yep. I they're battery out. Well, you can get them battery operated, or you can get them that you plug in too. And you can peel, potatoes. It's a electric vegetable peeler is what you maybe want to look for. And you can use the same. They have hand crank apple slicers, and you put the apple or again any other vegetable on the little prongs, and then you turn a crank, and it peels whatever it is, and you can use that, and you're less apt to peel the whole potato. But as I say, I don't bother to peel even the little ones. I just cut them in quarters or whatever, or if they're real little and I'm going to boil them or however, I just boil them, then I slice them because it's easier when they're cooked.
Right.
I leave the peels on. Just
This is
clean them,
Kathy.
and
Yeah,
it's good.
and I leave the peels on while they boil. I'm talking about when I take them out, I peel the peeling off. But it's
Oh
a preference,
no,
that's
Leave
a
them
personal.
on.
that's where all the good vitamins are.
Are they not in a potato?
Yes, ma'am, and yes, sir, in the peels.
Go ahead. Did somebody say Tammy?
Kathy.
This is Kathy.
Kathy. Okay, go ahead.
There's a peeler that I really like where the blade, it's kind of like a triangle peeler where the apex of the triangle goes in the palm of your hand and the base is sort of the peeler. And, you can lay the carrot down and just, I'm not sure I'm describing it very well, but it's just a difference in the angle that your hand is. It makes it easier to peel it. And sometimes you can kind of curl your two fingers under as you hold the peeler, and it's almost like it's almost like a shaver the way that the blade is related to your hand. Anyway,
Is there any such thing as an apple peeler?
There's an apple peeler cord
Because
that
I know they
got
got
from.
apple slicers, but I need to, because I'm one of those. You guys may laugh at me now, like we just laughed at Sandy.
You're
I
an
love
Android
eating
peeler
apples.
too.
I love eating apples, but I cannot eat the peeling. If I don't have a knife to peel the apple, I got to spit the peeling out because some reason I cannot seem to make my mouth dissolve that peeling. I have to spit it out.
This is
And
Terry.
sometimes peeling an apple, like Sonia, sometimes I've been and peeled up half the apple because I'm okay with it, but I'm not as good as my mother used to be. She could peel the apple and just like nothing, it comes out perfect. Go ahead,
Terry.
somebody.
Whatever my name is. You can go on Amazon and look for apple peelers, and they have some that are combination apple peeler, apple slicers too, or you can buy apple slicers separately, and you can buy them in multiple, like 6 slices or 8 slices of the apple, and you put it on this kind of a sharp thing, and you press down, and it slices the apple, and some of them even have a core in there. But you can, I love my apple peeler.
So that does exist. I didn't know it was a real tool.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yep. And it's got rubber feet on it,
So
so
you
it
know
doesn't.
the way.
Go ahead.
So it doesn't.
The trouble is, a lot of apples are not symmetric.
Say it again.
Have to be.
The apples are not symmetric. They're like lopsided, so the core doesn't go straight through. Like one side is big and the other side is smaller. And so when you put them in these things and they're going to turn and peel, you have to futz around a lot with them. I have a great cast on
No, I
peeler
don't
from
think so
Yellow
either.
Bean.
Not mine.
Well,
anyway. Okay.
All right, guys, let's keep going with your peeling, George. Where are we?
Yeah,
right
we
now,
don't have to do apples now. We're only talking about
That's okay.
carrots and potatoes.
Somebody mentioned about peeling, and like I say, I like to peel my apple, but I don't know if there was a device besides me using my knife, and that way I can have most of my apple, not all of the apple inside the peeling that I've peeled. What time is it? Let me know when it's 8:00.
Okay.
Give me an 8:00 time, Jack. I know
Well,
we
we're
shouldn't
at
be anywhere closer.
7:36 right now. So
Oh, wow.
So far we're at the potato. We haven't got the potatoes yet, right?
No, the potatoes right now, I put them in the water, and so they're getting ready to boil soon. And right now, I'm sauteing my onions in the skillet.
Okay.
And I'm going to do this a few times because I sliced up a whole lot of onions. So you hear me properly, no, you guys can't hear me. I'm going to learn that setting so I can do that for next time when I'm doing something live to figure it out. And I'm using a regular fork to move my onions around in this small skillet that is sauteing in the olive oil. And I don't know if you guys remember, I said I add also a little sea salt to it, not table salt. Is there really a big difference between, this is a question for the audience. What's the difference between sea salt and table salt? Anybody know? I don't, that's why I'm asking.
This is Vincent.
Go ahead, Vincent.
Sea salt is saltier than sea salt. So if you put the same amount of sea salt, it will be considerably saltier. So you have to really, be careful when you add it.
Okay, and what makes sea salt healthier than table salt? Is it less sodium?
Less sodium, yeah.
Okay.
It's also from the sea versus you can cultivate salt. I mean, you can have salt, I forget what do you call them?
Doesn't come out of a salt mine.
Well,
it comes from the sea.
Yeah.
This is Jody. It's also got a lot of
marsh.
Go ahead, Jody.
It's got a lot of minerals and other things like that in it.
Okay. One thing I'll say too, this particular diet fast that I've been on has really helped my blood pressure. I was I know where I'm gonna get back to the vegetable soup, but my pressure usually on an average is about high 130s on the top number and around 90 or high 80s on the bottom number. And my PCPs always tell me, you need to cut back on your salt intake, which when they first told me that, I did. Not a lot, but I did some. And that's why I try to keep myself stay active. Not that I just drink a lot of water. I do drink more water than I used to 10 years ago. But since I've been eating all of these vegetables and drinking water and drinking juice and all of this stuff, for the last week, my pressure has been averaging like 129 over 80 or 82. But I don't feel any different though. I know sometimes I say I should feel a lot better, but I don't really feel anything different. But according to the machine, I'm doing something right.
This is Sandhya.
Hey, Sandhya.
While we're waiting on the sauteing, you want to ask our audience if they have any other techniques for what you've been doing up till now?
Sure.
Okay.
Anybody?
This is Desi. I was going to mention that you were mentioning taking your potatoes out of the refrigerator. And honestly, you are not supposed to put potatoes in the refrigerator because it turns them kind of sugary. You're supposed to leave them like maybe in a cupboard in in a brown bag or something, where they're getting some darkness. But yeah, you shouldn't put them in the refrigerator.
I'd never heard that before. I've always found, not only in my house growing up, of course, you know what? I've seen them both. I've seen in the refrigerator and also seen them out of the refrigerator, but they usually don't last long enough because we ate a lot of potatoes back when I was little. uh, that to do anything, but I never heard that you were not supposed to put them in the refrigerator.
Has anybody
Lesson
else
learned.
heard that?
Yes.
Yes, she's absolutely right. You don't put them in the refrigerator. Yeah.
This is Kathy. I
Well,
think in the north, like when I grew up in New Jersey, we always had our potatoes and onions in the cabinets. But maybe because here it's warmer and there's bugs and stuff, I don't know. Maybe in like Oklahoma, where I am now, we keep a lot of stuff in the refrigerator. I think it has to do with bugs and the heat.
So even though I
This
just,
is a
I should take this out of there right now, out of the refrigerator.
I think ATEL has a comment.
Go ahead.
No, I was just agreeing that I don't keep potatoes, or I use a lot of sweet onions. I never put them in the refrigerator because in the past when I've done it, they seem to go bad quicker in the refrigerator.
The
as
onions or the
opposed to just
potatoes?
out.
Or both?
Huh?
The,
Onions
the,
for me, onions and potatoes. I do not put them in the refrigerator. Only onions I put in the refrigerator would be the green onions, like the scallions, those. But the other ones I do not put in the refrigerator.
This
so
is
that's why
Pete.
my
Is it
onions been. That's why my onions been growing bad quickly. Because when I use it, it's fresh, and then I take and wrap it up like in saran wrap or foil, and I put it in the refrigerator because I thought that's how I'm keeping it fresh. Go ahead,
is it because of the temperature, or because it's closed in and it doesn't get enough air, or what? Desi.
Anybody?
So I don't know, but what I was saying about my onions, before I cut them, I keep them out. But once I cut them, if I don't use the whole onion, then I put that in the refrigerator. But if it's not cut, I don't put them in the refrigerator.
And this is Debbie, and to answer Pete's question, I think it has something also to do with the moisture. There's much more moisture in the refrigerator than out.
Sandhya.
This is Vincent. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead, Sandhya.
I
And then
think my
Vincent.
mom says also once you cut the potatoes, you don't, I mean, like, I know we're not, like, this is not exactly what we're saying, but she says they start turning black or something, so they don't look good. So once you cut them, you need to hurry up and do whatever it is you're going to do with them. So,
That is true.
That's correct.
They'll turn
And apples
brown.
too.
Yeah, that's right.
there you
Yep.
go, black, brown. Okay,
This is
Vincent.
Vincent.
Go ahead, Vincent. Go ahead.
What you can use as a rule of thumb, if when you buy your vegetables or your fruits, if they are in the refrigerated section, you definitely should put them in the refrigerator. But for the most part, when you buy potatoes, when you buy onions, when you buy garlic, when you buy other vegetables, they are not in the refrigerated section. And things like spinach, perhaps, or broccoli or mushrooms, they may be in a section that is refrigerated, but not potatoes and not the other stuff. So if you use that, if they don't are not refrigerated, don't refrigerate. That's a pretty good rule of thumb. Uh, I remember, here in the United States, we always put our eggs in the refrigerator. But you lived in other countries. In most other countries, when you buy them, especially in outdoor markets, they are room temperature, so you can keep them, room temperature, and they will last. But the bottom line is that if they are cold, they should remain cold. If they are room temperature, they should remain room temperature. And what I do many times is I put them in a brown bag to absorb the moisture once again and keep them in a dark area, usually in the basement or wherever. And I try not to keep them for more than 3 or 4 days to make sure that they are fresh, and you don't want to forget them, because many times I have bought more potatoes thinking that I didn't have any, and then I find a bag that has rotten potatoes, and then I have to wash the bag, I have to wash my hands, I have to wash everything.
So, question. All right, I just want to reiterate. After you have cut your potatoes or your onions or both, and you don't use all of them, do you just wrap it up and not put it in the refrigerator, or do you wrap it up and put it in the refrigerator?
This is
No.
Desi. I think that after you cut them, you definitely should wrap them up and put them in the refrigerator.
Okay. All right. All right. I hadn't done nothing wrong with that.
This is Marcia. So I've seen people put the potatoes in water to keep them from turning brown or black.
I think that might be dependent upon, I would think. It's just me thinking on the fly.
Yeah, this is Desi. I
Often you would
agree,
use them.
Marcia. That's what I've heard too. That's what I've always done.
Because when you put it in water, wouldn't they go bad? Wouldn't we get rotten or something?
No, well, we're not talking about like for days. We're talking about like if you want to peel your potatoes for a little while before you are actually going to put them in your water to boil, you might want to go ahead and put them in water so that they won't turn dark.
Okay.
Because if they're just sitting like out on the counter, they will.
Okay. Makes sense. Makes sense.
This is
Al.
Sonia.
Oh, y'all was a tie. Ladies go first.
I was just gonna open it up and make sure anybody else who hasn't had, wants to make a comment, we'd love to hear from you too. So
I do want to ask George, how do you know when your water's boiling? I've stuck my finger in it and that doesn't work.
Oh, don't do that. Ouch. The sound.
Okay.
When you water's gonna bubble, it makes a bubbly sound. So that's when that noise would also let you know that it's boiling. Also, you can hold your hand over it like about maybe 5 inches above the pot. And if your hands started getting moist, and then that's steam, which means is at boiling point.
This is Sarah.
Terry.
All right.
hang on, I think we had another gentleman.
We had somebody else.
Yeah, a gentleman was waiting.
It was me, Sandhya, Al.
Okay, go ahead, Al.
Go ahead.
What I experienced with potatoes when you put them in water to make them last a few hours, if you go to deep fry them or fry them in a pan, the inside stays very, very soft, as opposed if you just peel them and put them in the olive oil, they're nice and crispy. And regarding to see if your oil temperature is fine, one of the tricks I use is, but it could be dangerous, is put the heat on and just with your hand, just get some water in your hand, very, very little, like droplets, and then put it into the olive oil. If it sizzles and makes noise, then you know your oil is done. Or the other thing, if you're frying a potato or you're frying something small, just throw a little piece in the oil. And if it sizzles, then you know your oil is ready.
He's absolutely ready about that. Or I'm right about that, not ready. Well, I guess both. Because like if I'm deep frying like French fries or fish or something like that, the way I know that the grease is hot enough is I will wet my hand and just sprinkle it over that. And if it pops real good, stand back though. That let me know my grease is hot enough. That's the way I think I learned that trick from somebody. All right, who else wanted to talk? Right
Sarah?
now I'm sauteing my carrots. I'm done with the onions. I'm doing the carrots right now. Go ahead.
The boiling water thing. There is a disc. It's a metal disc. I assume you can get it at any kitchen store, or low vision store. It's just a little disc. It's got some holes in it and stuff, and you put it in the bottom of the pot with the water, and when it starts boiling, it starts to rattle.
This is Terry.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Terry.
Yep, I was going to say that. Also, there are glass ones that you can buy as well. But yeah, you probably can get them at a store where they sell cooking utensils. Otherwise, I know some of the like Maxi Aids and LS&S and places like that, they also carry them. But I bet you could get them cheaper at an appliance store or good old your favorite whatever your delivery shopping place that you deliver stuff from.
This is Sonia.
Go ahead, Sonia.
How big is this disc? Because I sure don't want to eat it with my potatoes.
Oh,
no,
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 no, no,
no.
no. It's like 3.5, 4 inches. Yep.
I don't want to rule anything out. Okay, thank you.
It's flat, Sandhya. It's
Uh-huh.
flat. It's
Uh-huh.
metal. It
Uh-huh.
has little holes in it.
Okay.
I would rest assured you can sleep tonight.
Wait.
All right.
Does this disc has taste?
Probably better than my potatoes.
I haven't tasted it yet. George, you do that.
This is
right.
Desi, and I just want to say
I just
somebody
want to
else.
make sure she knows how to tell the difference between biting the disc and biting the potato. Go ahead, Desi.
I was just going to say, somebody else, I think Terry mentioned, you can also buy that same kind of disc that is made out of glass. It doesn't have to be metal.
Correct.
Yeah. So.
Does it stay in there with your food? Like if I was making
No.
grits?
No.
So what? How do I get it out of there?
Well, I mean, you can leave it in, but you don't have to. You could just fish it out with a spoon or
maybe some tongs or a fork.
Probably
tongs.
Or
I think tongs would be good.
Or a thing called a double spatula. Double spatula is like big tongs, and they help you to grab things and also flip things over. All right, I'm sauteing the carrot slices right now, and guys, doing this also thing, I've discovered I got a new favorite snack of mine. I could eat sauteed onions just like I'm eating chips. They taste so good. It's weird. Well, it's weird to me that I actually can saute some onions and just eat it without putting it in anything. Anyone else do that besides me? Can you just eat some salty? Go ahead, Sarah.
This is Sarah. Well, I can eat onions with anything, especially when they're sauteed. But one thing I was going to say about when I saute the onions in the olive oil, I will put vinegar in after it's already sauteing, and it sucks it right up.
Okay.
And I think using vinegar is, sometimes a replacement for wine. I don't cook with wine, but you can also do it with wine.
I've never cooked with wine. I need to try that. I need to find a recipe and come on here and say how to cook with wine. I've never done that.
There's all sorts of different vinegars you can get as well besides white.
I said at the beginning, I use clear white vinegar. And what I did was when I sliced up my onions, I just poured the vinegar over it. But I haven't tried, like you indicated, just pour the vinegar while you're sauteing.
Yeah, you just splash it in. I have rice vinegar and any kind of vinegar.
It's just a little
just
bit?
splash it in. Yep.
What is
depends.
it sucking out? What's it?
It's not No, the onion is pulling it in. The onion is sucking it in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Just with the heat, it helps it to absorb. That's all.
Okay, I'm almost done. Anyone else? I got about another minute, then I'll be done with these carrots.
This
then I
is
go to my
real
next
quick.
step. Yeah.
With regard to the vinegar, is there any one that you don't want to use? I mean, I know there's rice wine, there's apple, whatever. Is there anything that you shouldn't use, or are they all fair game?
I think they're all fair game. I mean, you could even use balsamic depending on, the taste of whatever you're making.
I use that on my salad. If I go to a restaurant, they say they don't have Italian dressing. So that's pretty much the only dressing I like. And then they said, but we have balsamic vinaigrette. I'm like, all right, well, give me that then. But I really love Italian. And the balsamic vinaigrette is not that bad. I just don't like ranch or blue cheese and everything like that. Go ahead.
There's red wine. That sounds good.
No, you talking about red wine you drink, or is red wine like a?
No, red wine vinegar.
Oh.
Al.
Go ahead, Al.
George, there's also a recipe that you can look up, either chicken or veal marsala, that you're cooking with wine after you saute the chicken or the veal. So that's another recipe for wine that you can look for.
Well,
I should have got on this call before I had dinner. I'm hungry.
Yeah.
I know. See, I'm cooking, and I remember my mother used to always say the worst time to cook is when you're hungry. And I haven't. I ate some McDonald's French fries. I shouldn't have had that, but I had that
Ooh,
earlier. But all I've been eating today was some cashews, and
ooh, that is
I'm ready.
not.
I'm I'm ready for this soup because I'm hungry.
Oh,
And you
this is
shouldn't be cooking
Sandy.
when you're hungry. Go ahead, Sandy.
I was gonna say if anybody joined that didn't get to say hello while we're kind of waiting on the sautéing, anybody want to say hello that didn't get to come in earlier? Who you are, where you're from, and have you ever made soup from scratch or a can or whatever?
Hi,
Anybody?
everybody. It's Janice. I'm
Hey,
just
Janice. Okay. Well,
joining
And
in.
Terry
Janice,
from Arlington
wait.
Heights.
Hang on.
Oh,
Janice,
I'm
do you make
sorry.
it from scratch or a can, or do you do anything?
Yeah, I've done it from, well, yeah, I've done it from scratch. I've used like chicken stock and used frozen vegetables and then baked chicken and cube it up, and that's a quick chicken soup.
All right. Thank you.
Janice, where are you from?
I'm from Maryland.
Okay, okay.
Okay. Who else? Terry Ann, heard you.
Terry from Arlington Heights. Um, I make soup occasionally, soup or chili. I guess I don't know if you consider chili a soup, but and I usually make it with a from a recipe, but and sometimes I don't know, sometimes my soup is better than other times. Sometimes to me it doesn't always have enough flavor, and that's always my issue. So I don't
Okay.
make it as often as I should, and then I'd get better at it, right?
Yeah. Okay. All right. Anybody else didn't get to say hi? First time
Just
around.
Kathy. Kathy from
Kathy.
Tulsa. And
Oh, hi.
I made hi. I made soup. Somebody told me the other week that I had some raviolis, and they said, you know what, they're really good in like a chicken broth with sausage.
Ooh.
And they didn't tell me what I forgot. Oh, they said really spinach, but that was too late. I had already bought all the stuff and didn't have any spinach. But anyway, it did come out pretty good. It was, but I made chicken soup before. I don't know. It's just never as good as my mother's. There's some whatever the ingredient that ties it all together. I think that's the
Love.
ingredient. I don't
It's
know.
love,
Oh,
exactly. Yeah.
love.
That's not gonna happen. All
I
right.
love.
Who else? Anybody else without love? Anybody else didn't get to say hi? All right. Well, all
You know,
right, George.
I used to didn't think I didn't like carrots, but I just ate a slice of a salted carrot, man.
Is
That tastes
George, is
good.
there going to be anything
Oh,
left
you
for the
are
soup?
hungry.
You're eating everything
Yeah.
on the. Jeez.
I'm hungry.
Have an
Good thing he's
apple.
not using that wine.
Obviously. Yeah, don't give him
So
any wine and drink it
I didn't know
all.
carrots because I thought carrots were nasty, but that carrot
Oh
tastes kind
my
of good there.
goodness. Okay, now what? We're almost at
Good when
8
they're
o'clock,
cooked.
George. Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. The wait, somebody else want to say something real quick
I
before
thought
Oh my
I
Vanessa.
God.
resume?
If we want to discuss, we could discuss what spices people put in their soups,
Oh,
and
that's
also
coming.
they also have bone broth, which is
Who?
supposed to bone broth, bone bone broth.
Bone, bro.
Bone, like a bone, broken bone. Yeah.
Chicken bones.
Chicken bones.
You can make
Beef
All
a
right.
broth out
bones.
of
Bones.
bones.
You'll probably come back. You want to
Bones.
come back to the spices, George? Or
I know you can make a broth out of bones. Whose bones?
gonna
No,
get
Not
the
this
not
is
human
Desi.
bones.
bone
This is
marrow. Go
this
ahead,
is
Desi.
Desi. What they
Oh,
do,
okay.
they
It makes
take
sense
beef
now.
bones or chicken bones
Okay,
and you simmer them for a long time and you take all the liquid off and that is called bone broth.
gotcha,
And
gotcha.
what Desi forgot to tell you, well, she just didn't tell you, because Desi, of course, knows this. It's
Well, maybe.
Because you
it's
know what Desi knows. That's scary.
I know everything. I know everything. As well as Desi knows everything. But it's 12 hours for the chicken bone broth, and it's 24 hours
Oh,
for the beef bone broth.
Really?
Absolutely. You just let
really?
it slow simmer. You need to put lots of, good water in to begin with. Cover your bones well with water so that you have something
Like,
left when,
forget about it.
but it's really, it's really not as hard as everybody thinks. You just put all your bones and stuff into your pot with your water and put some salt and pepper and seasonings and stuff in it and turn it
have a
on
life.
and let it go.
Listen, Katrina, I found out you can put nutmeg in meats too.
Yeah.
Mix it with like garlic and onion. It's good.
Look at all these chefs in here.
Oh yeah.
Put
I cooked some
nutmeg in
collard greens. I cooked some collard greens. I had fried some bacon in some oil, fried some bacon.
Crap,
I
that's too
cut it
hot.
up, cut it up, cut the bacon up, and then put some onion and garlic and bell pepper in there, and put some collard greens in there. And let it simmer, and I put some Rotel tomatoes in there, and it was so good.
Okay, to give you guys an update, I have finished sauteing my carrots. I have finished sauteing onions because that was done first. I just turned off the water of my potatoes, so they are finished boiling. I'm trying to get it off of this burner, but my handle's too hot, so I got to get my pot holder to lift it up so that can cool down. And once that cooled down enough for me to grab it, then that's when I will peel the skin off and slice the potatoes up like I did the carrots and drop them in the water. So what I'm going to do now, my next step is my 6-quart. Oh, that's the wrong pot. This pot. My 6-quart pot. This is what I'm going to put everything in. But what I'm going to do first is I'm going to grab my 2 cans of Hunt's tomato paste. And what I'm going to do is once I open them up with an electric can opener, although the can opener that I have here is a battery operated one, it takes 2 AA batteries. I don't know the brand name. It's just something that from my agency we usually give out to our clients for doing things safely. And this is one of the devices. I don't think we have it anymore. When we had a warehouse, we used to give these out. And so, but it takes 2 AA batteries and it actually spins on its own. Like I just set it down and it's just going to turn on its own. And when it's done, it just takes the lid. What it does, it also takes the lid completely off the can. Okay. It's also like now it's got stage fright because it wants to act up on me. But I will not be defeated. You're going to work for me today. But once I get this open, I'm going to pour it into the pot, and I'm also going to probably, because tomato paste is really thick, so I'm going to fill up the can with water and use like a small spoon to scoop all of it out because I want to get as much of it out as I possibly can. And then I'm going to, it probably take like 3 cans of this water. Like I'll fill it up 3 times. Oh, there we go. There we go. To get all of the paste out, it takes like 3 times to get that done. And then I'll pour that to the pot. And once I get both cans in there, I'm going to fill up the pot with water to about 3/4 of the way full. Just so it could be enough room. Why you got stage fright today? Don't you know people's watching you? I'm talking to the can opener, guys. I don't have nobody else here to talk to, so I'm talking to my stuff. I'm not cracking up. It's just stuff that I do.
Your can knows we can't see.
Why the heck?
Throw the whole can in, George.
Did you plug it in?
It's worth my battery. It doesn't have a plug. Come on, you can do it. You can do it.
Just slap it against the counter.
I promise you, ladies and gentlemen, this doesn't always happen all the time. I don't know why it's doing this time.
Maybe you need some new batteries.
No,
do you have a manual one?
I don't know where it's at. Actually, you know what? Because I moved recently. I moved last July, and I think I lost it. But now I say I wish I had it because when all else fail, a manual one would do it.
You can use your
And
teeth, can't you?
I'm not that hungry. And
Tanya has all the good ideas.
I've been living in this complex long enough that I can go knock on a neighbor's door and say, "Hey, do you have a can opener I can borrow?" So I need to get my neighbors. I need to get to know my neighbors and learn some Spanish because I think none of them speak English.
Okay.
Got it off. I hope the next can don't take that long.
Anybody
And then
see the?
go ahead.
Go on. I'm sorry.
Now, all I was about to say is once I get both of these cans of tomato paste in here and with the water, I'm going to let it boil for like about, I would guess maybe like about 10 to 15 minutes so it gets boiling. And then that's when I start adding in all of my ingredients. I start adding in my carrots, my potatoes. All right, the can is open. That's one.
This is
And,
Vincent.
go ahead, Vincent.
If you have to go to your neighbors and they only speak Spanish, the word that you want to use is abre latas.
Abre
latas.
Latas?
Can opener. Yeah. Lata would be the tin cover, and abre means to open.
Open.
So abre latas. Abre latas.
Well, Vincent, I'm gonna get your number, and when I need an interpreter, I'm just gonna put you on speaker and say this. Abre latas.
They'll know what you mean.
So
They'll
I
know
have
what
to
you
say,
mean when you bring the can with you.
Yo tengo abre latas.
No, tiene.
O tiene abre latas.
Tiene un abre latas.
Tiene un abre latas. Okay.
Correct.
Yeah, you're right. That'd be a good thing too. I bring the can with me. Say, abre, you have one? Do you have? Tiene? Okay, I am scooping out the tomato paste into the pot. And I'm getting out as much as I can. I don't know if you guys can hear that at all.
Nope.
Probably not. Just hear me because of I wasn't able to. That's what I do Sunday. Next time I'm gonna look for that setting before I join. So
this is Sonia. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
So my mom usually puts after she gets everything out of the can, then she'll fill it up with water to make sure we got everything out. Do you do that?
Yeah, that's what I'm doing now.
Okay.
I'm doing it right now. I'm about to fill out. I just take it out with a stop talking voiceover. Okay. Hold on, let me turn my voiceover off because it's getting on my
we don't
nerves.
hear your voiceover.
No, but I hear it, and it's making me not hear you all.
Oh, I know. I hate that.
Oh, am I being heard?
Yes,
you are being heard.
Oh, I thought I accidentally hung up.
No, you're good. You're good. You're good.
You're doing good.
Because I didn't hear y'all for a second. But I take it out with a spoon first, and then I fill it up with water. I'm gonna do this 3 times to make sure I get it all out.
Okay.
It's kind of the same thing I do when I make my spaghetti and meat sauce too.
Okay.
Man, I should not have done this while I am hungry. This is terrible.
Terrible.
See if Michael was on here, he'd be saying, "All right, dinner's at George. I'll be right over."
Yep.
You know Michael would do that.
Oh yeah, he's probably waiting at your door. You just don't know it. So.
Okay, that's 1 can. Marsha, did you ever get teased by that Brady Bunch? People saying Marsha?
Oh yes, but see, I'm so old that I go back to the record, John, Marcia, but you got to be really old to know that one.
I do recall that. I'm not that old, but I do recall hearing that.
Where are you, George?
Where am I? I'm in Houston.
Houston, Texas. You sound like you come from Louisiana.
I'm originally from New Orleans, Louisiana.
There you go. I did catch that.
Yeah, you did. I'm originally from there. I thought I lost my accent. I'm glad I still have it.
Yeah, to be proud of it.
No, trust me. When I moved to Kansas City, Missouri, and I was up there for like 10 years, but when I first was there, I got ridiculed so much about how I announced a certain thing. So I worked on sort of not sound so much like I was from there because they teased me so much. I mean, it would stop me almost like with every other word.
Well, this is
And
Sonia.
I didn't have the gall to tell them go to hell. Oh, go ahead, son.
I have a question. Does it matter? You said you're gonna saute your the soup water mixture and then dump it in. What would happen if you dumped it in right at the beginning? Does it matter?
I don't know.
Okay.
I haven't tried it the other way yet.
Oh,
It's
you
just something
guys
that I
that
thought of.
cook on
You know,
the does it matter?
Yeah, yeah. Does it matter, you
I
guys?
think
Yeah. Al?
okay, I
Go
want
ahead,
to
Al.
throw in if you use the Instant Pot, one of the things you could do is saute first and then just dump all the other stuff on top of it.
George is one of those who
You know, so
still does not have an instant pot yet.
Okay, and I think
it
Al
is.
had a comment.
Yes, it's better to saute. That's where you get most of the flavor for the soup or whatever.
Well, okay, so they've been sauteing. All of George's vegetables have been sauteing in various forms, and now he's waiting for this tomato gesture stuff to sit for 20 minutes. Couldn't he just dump the vegetables in now?
I would.
Or if they've
This is
already been
Sarah.
I did.
sauteing, yeah.
I guess so, yes. Yeah.
I wouldn't do that because a vegetable, they get too
George, this
Mushy.
is,
Oh, too soggy? Oh.
they get soggy if you do that.
yeah, they can.
Well, because you
George,
still got to peel the potatoes. You could peel the potatoes while the water's boiling, and then put them all in together.
That's
So you
true.
that's
don't want them
true.
to get too soft, is what you're saying. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, they can.
This
George,
is
this is Charlie from Oklahoma. A
Hey,
little
Charlie from
helpful.
Oklahoma.
Yeah, hi, Kathy. One of the
Hey,
things I might point out is when I was teaching cooking classes, one of the things that we would do is buy tomato sauce, tomato paste, things like that in cans that have the pull tabs on top, and then you can bypass the use of a can opener that way, and that seemed to help a lot, especially a lot of us in our classes were older and had arthritic fingers, and that would help a lot.
And they're not
That's
more
true.
expensive.
That
Now
definitely is true.
they're the same cost, so they're not more expensive than conventional cans.
And there's a lot less work too. Because I would have
Yeah,
been
yeah,
that
but it
joke
was
if I had a pull top.
that's
but
right.
it was fun seeing you struggle.
Oh, well, yes, you would say that, right?
Hey,
I never know of a person.
I like to be entertaining.
Yes.
We got a lot of mileage out of it.
I'm
So
glad
this
I'm
is
not the
Sarah.
only one that talks
Go
to
ahead, Sarah.
Um, Basically, I saute my vegetables. I don't saute the potatoes. I don't boil them either. And with whether you're using stock or water or whatever, that's when I would add in the tomatoes. Whatever tomato you're using, I would do diced tomatoes or something like that if I was using a can. And then once everything is sauteing or simmering, I would put the potatoes in then.
Okay.
I call that building a soup.
I'm building a soup.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I will put small sliced pieces of celery in the soup also. It gives it a little added flavor.
Yeah,
Celery?
definitely. Yeah.
Celery's
Yeah.
kind of strong too, isn't it? I
You
have
could
some
cut it up
celery.
when
I
you did
could
the
do that.
carrots.
Do you saute it? No, we don't have to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
I
saute
would
the
saute it.
celery.
The celery? Okay, because I do
Yeah.
have some celery in there.
Slice it up, saute it with
Right.
everything else, and it's yummy.
Yeah.
This is Sonia.
Or
Go ahead,
sometimes
Sandy.
what people do is just when they they have a lot of leftovers. They make soup out of it, all of it.
Say that one more time.
If you have a lot of leftovers that are in the refrigerator
Uh-huh.
and stuff that needs to be eaten, you can make a soup out of anything.
Yeah, that's true. Go ahead, Sandia.
Yeah, I had a question about how to peel the celery when you get all the fiber off of it, right? First, before you start slicing it.
No,
I've never.
This is Desi.
No.
Go ahead,
I,
Desi.
One at a
I have
time.
never peeled celery. All I do is I cut off both ends of the celery stalks.
Right.
right.
And then I slice them after that and put them in. I don't ever peel them.
Yeah, I usually wash it. I'll never peel it. I know you can peel the celery. I don't remember the
Well,
celery having skin.
Sometimes it's stringy, like if you're just having if you're stuffing the celery with cheese or peanut butter,
Mhm.
and just eating like a big 2-inch piece of it. I think
If
then
it's
you might
raw.
want to peel it. But
You could take the knife and just cut into the open part of the celery, and then not cut all the way through, but just pull it back, and you'll get the majority of strings out.
Fuck.
You can do that from the top or the bottom.
I've never
Okay.
tried that.
I've always peeled it. I don't know. Never knew.
Celery
Well,
and peanut
I was
butter.
going to say the same thing. That's what I do because I can't stand those strings.
Okay.
And the only thing I start from the top, and then with not a sharp knife, the edge of a knife, just at the very, very top, just make a little slight cut, and then you'll grab those fibers and then just pull them all the way down.
I'll have to
George,
try
it's
that. I've not
8:17.
done that.
George, 8:17.
I have
All right.
honestly to say that I have never peeled a piece of celery. Now I'm going to be really curious to try that.
You obviously
now those,
survived, so you're okay.
well, when you cut them up
Successfully
small for
opened up
soup.
the other can of tomato paste.
Okay.
So now we're about ready to get this party started.
My mouth is watering.
So I'm scooping it out into the pot. This teaspoon. That's the smallest spoon that I have. I don't have a Barbie spoon.
Are you using those little skinny cans of paste?
Yes. Yep, that's what I'm using.
6 ounce.
Oh yeah.
I know them. Do you know that tomato paste, you could get it in a tube?
No.
I've not
never
seen
seen it that way.
Bought it a tube just because I had to see. I had to know, but I don't think I ever used it.
Good idea, because usually I waste half of the can because I don't want all of it.
And sometimes you just want a couple of tablespoons, so you don't have to use the whole tube.
Now we were
Hi,
talking about.
Vanessa.
Oh, go ahead, Vanessa.
Oh, hi. Oh,
Hi.
one thing that when you open up you do have leftovers with the tomato paste, so you can put them in little ice cube in your little ice cube trays in the freezer, and then that way that's a tablespoon and that one, that's a tablespoon and that one. And also, excuse me, George, you don't use the Instapot? This
I
could
don't
have
have
been done
one.
in.
I don't
Oh,
have
you don't
one.
have one? Oh.
Yeah, I've been
my
saying
goodness. Oh,
we've been
okay.
doing this about 2 years, Sandy. I said I was gonna get me
Well,
one for 2 years, and I haven't gotten it yet.
well, we
Oh,
have
okay.
one that was accessible that has now become inaccessible because the app doesn't work. They said they're no longer supporting the Instapot.
That's true. Yes.
Well, how dare
And
they do that?
Might not matter. I mean, you can kind of learn what the buttons are, but it was really nice to be able to confirm things on the app and figure out what mode you were in and whether it was high or low.
Well, actually, what I did with somebody was, and go ahead, I didn't mean to cut you off, but what I did with somebody, and they were a Braille reader. I actually we learned what the buttons were, and I just made like some little 2-letter abbreviations for each setting, and that's how they was able to learn what the settings was and eventually memorize what button was with. How often you use it.
I guess I'm still old fashioned. I use the old slow cooker or crock pot.
He's talking about me.
Who was trying to say something? I cut them off. I didn't mean to do that.
I'm not sure, but George, it's Vanessa again. Hi.
Go ahead,
So
Vanessa.
I'm
Aw.
lazy. I'm lazy. Of course, I know how to cut, vegetables and all that, but a lot of times I just throw them in my food processor and just turn it on, and everything is chopped.
Now I've done
So
that. My favorite, like if I'm preparing like red beans or I'm cooking something I'm going to bake, I do have a greenery
Yeah.
container that I keep in my refrigerator that has chopped up onions, green
Oh,
onions,
good.
celery, and garlic. And yes, I do use a food
Ooh.
chopper for that because that'll take forever to chop up. So yeah, I
Ooh,
get that all
is
chopped
that
up in
the
like 8 seconds.
is that the Louisiana trio? Celery, onions,
Um,
and
I don't know, just something I picked up.
Good.
Now
This is
we're talking
Desi.
about. Go ahead, Desi.
Um, I was going to say that, if you don't really like to chop onions, you can buy them now in the produce department in little
Yes.
plastic
Yeah.
containers, like
Yes.
I don't know, what are they, 2 cups, cup and a half, something like that, of
Sure
or
can.
of already chopped onion.
they have frozen chopped peppers and onions in the freezer section in the
Yes, they
bag.
do. They have
That's true
those too.
too.
Yep.
That's true too.
They don't have the
Convenient.
flavor kind of
Now,
doesn't hold its flavor as well as it should. That's why I quit getting them because the flavor goes away quickly.
now
Because
we were
it's
talking about spices. Let me get to that before we run out of time. The spices that I'm going to use to put in all of this, I'm from Louisiana, I already said, so Tony Chachere's goes in almost everything that I cook. I can't even think of what I don't use Tony Chachere's for. Probably on chicken. I probably do not put it on my fried chicken, but everything else, no, I don't put it on my pork chops either. But
What
anything that
spice is that?
Tony Chachere's is called, Tony apostrophe S. I don't know how to spell Chachere's. I can look, but it's CH something.
Chachere's.
I can ask either the A lady or the Google guy how you spell it. They can probably tell me. But it would say Louisiana Creole season, something that started or somebody invented it from Louisiana. So
Creole seasoning.
so I use some of that. I use like a dash, and if I had to measure, maybe like probably a tablespoon because this is a big pot. So that's why I probably would be equivalent that much. I use definitely some seasonal, and I may put a little garlic powder in there just for flavor. This is what I want. I don't want to put too much because I don't want to take like the natural thing when I'm trying to put in there. But just because I like things, I don't want it to burn me up, but I do like things like a little spicy. So that's why I use things like that. So you soup makers, what do you guys use for your spices? Or
This
do
is
you use any
Sarah.
spices at all? Go ahead, Sarah.
I use fresh garlic in the beginning, when I'm sauteing the onion. And I use sage, which I really love.
Interesting. In soup.
Oh
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, go
Pretty
ahead.
much in everything it seems. Except for ice cream.
Don't give
So I
somebody
use
any
sage,
ideas.
I use oregano, I use thyme. Those are my
Oh, that's probably
standbys.
good.
Yeah.
Oh, I need to buy some of that. I can't find it. I've been
No?
looking for because I have a couple of stores and I haven't looked in Walmart yet, but I've been a couple of stores I go to locally here. Like one of my favorite stores here in Houston is called Jovi Smart Shop. And I remember asking them, do you have anything? And they're like, what is that? I'm like, because I've tasted it at this one Mexican restaurant that I like to go to, that they put it on the rim of a margarita glass.
Interesting.
And when I tasted it, I said, man, this probably tastes good sprinkled on some chips. Some plain chips, probably.
You're talking about thyme?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
The best place to buy spices is Aldi's. Aldi's has really nice spices at a good price.
Oh, really? Okay.
Ooh.
Yeah.
There's all these not too far from me, also.
They have really good cookies right before Christmas.
Sometimes I put in basil or dill.
Yes, me too.
Alexa, Set timer for 10 minutes.
George,
and I apologize
this is...
if I activated you guys' device. My bad.
George, you got my Lady A going. I gotta go cancel her.
George, this is Charlie from Oklahoma.
Go ahead, Charlie.
One of my main spices is garlic powder, and then I use the sea salt instead of regular table salt.
Yes.
And I use a dash of pepper, and that has pretty good a blend of flavor in it.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I totally agree with that.
Al?
Go ahead, Al.
Does anyone use the Goya adobo? Does anyone use it?
Ooh, yeah.
What is that?
I do.
Yeah, tofu. Very salty,
It's a whole
but
bunch
yeah,
of
good.
it's a whole bunch of spices in one. Salt, pepper.
Okay.
I don't know what else is in there, but it sure adds to soups and other things that I make too.
Okay. I need to go buy that.
Garlic.
What is the
garlic and
name of that
cumin.
again?
Adobo. I don't know how to spell it. Adobo or something like that. It's made by Goya, a Spanish
It's like,
company.
yeah, Spanish or Puerto Rican.
Kathy, does our Walmart have that?
I would
Yes,
think
they
so,
do.
yeah.
It's a national brand, so I'm sure you can get it almost anywhere.
What I'm doing now, guys, I'm peeling my potatoes. I'm taking the skin off, and then I'm going to slice while I'm waiting for my water to boil. Just to give you an update what's going on. You can continue. What's it called? Goya adobo?
Goya?
Yes, Goya.
Goya's the
Goya
brand.
adobo. Okay,
Goya's the
gotcha.
brand, yes.
All right. I definitely will be
Adobo's
adding it to my
spice.
spice shelf.
Adobo. Adobo,
Probably
maybe. I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
that's right. It's
That'd be my
ADOBO.
guess.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This is Desi. I would like to ask, do most of you other soup makers put tomato paste in your soup? I had never heard of that.
Neither did I. Neither did I.
I've never used tomato paste.
What,
This
Ray?
is Sarah.
I think tomato paste is very bitter. I use diced tomatoes.
Al?
Yeah. Yeah, I
Go-
only use diced tomatoes, and I don't put a lot in. I usually just put it in for like something like minestrone, but
Mhm.
not all soups.
Go ahead. I think it was Al trying to talk.
Yes, instead of the tomato paste I would use in my stuff, sometimes I love plum tomatoes. I love plum tomatoes, and sometimes when they get very ripe, I would put a whole bunch of ripe tomatoes right in the soup, and they'll break up as you're cooking the soup.
Okay.
One of the
I
things
agree.
that I use are diced stewed tomatoes that has onion and other spices in it. You can buy it. They also have a spicier type of stewed tomatoes that you can put into the soup if you don't want to use tomato paste.
This is Janice.
And the tomato paste is going to give it a nice red color too. But like I said, it's only a preference. This is what I'm doing. And then I use a tomato sauce for the nice flavor. That's why, yeah, tomato paste is extremely bitter. But that's why I add the sauce to it. Go ahead. I think it was Janice.
Yeah, George,
Go
you're
ahead.
not gonna like this being from New Orleans, but if I make gumbo, I start by using a jar of ragu, and then I add my shrimp or my chicken. I can doctor it up with more celery and
Hold
I
up.
know, George, I know you don't like it, but I'm
Stop
telling
the
you, it's
press.
great.
Ragu and gumbo, nah.
So you can use the vegetable ragu, and then you just add all of your shrimp and your chicken and your sausage, and add more celery and onions, and it's great. So, and put it over some rice, and you're ready to go.
Minute rice.
How'd you know? Exactly.
Hey, I'm not knocking it at all because somebody, I think my ex-mother-in-law introduced me to boil in the bag rice, and man, I was so happy to learn about that because cooking rice is tricky. Whereas I boil that thing for like 5 minutes, good, perfect.
You never
You know,
go
now they
wrong
sell
with
frozen rice. You get
Yeah,
frozen
but
rice already cooked that you just microwave. Just thought I'd mention it.
I did not know that. Although I've never thought that rice was that hard to cook, but that's
it's just
interesting,
the
especially if
way
you're
my
in a hurry.
mother taught me how to cook rice. It's just a process, and I just rather just drop that bag in the hot water, and 5, 10 minutes later it's done. I ain't got to worry about cooking it, and then straining it, and then cooking it again, and steaming it. You know, the
Wait,
rice still
cooking
tastes
it
good.
and then
Wow,
straining
I
it and
don't
then
do
cooking
that.
it again? What is that?
Well, for the steam, put it in like a colander or strainer or something like that to make it
That's
steam,
just, you mean
make it
rinsing.
fluffy. Yeah,
Sometimes you put it through the
I
colander to
don't like
clean
that.
it.
I don't like
Yeah,
that
just to
gummy
clean
stuff.
it.
I don't like that gummy starch. So I try to get all that out of there.
One thing I
Yeah.
always put in my soups is beans because I need the fiber. And it's any kind of beans. Red beans, black beans, cannelli beans, navy beans, great northern beans.
You know, they have a bean selection, a bag of different, like 14 kinds of beans. I think it's it might be a chili mix, but it would go really well in soup.
Yeah.
And let's not forget
Yes.
the chickpeas or garbanzo.
Oh yes, love them.
That's for chili.
No.
No.
No,
See,
you can use it for
I
soup
don't put beans in my regular soups. Mm-mm.
I do.
Now
I
I got a
do.
silly question. While we're waiting for my water to boil, it's almost there. I heard you guys talking about split pea soup. Why are you going to split the peas? Aren't they too small to split?
They're already split.
They split when you cook them.
And why are you splitting them? Well, just eat them
You're not
whole.
splitting them. They
They're
are
dried.
split.
They're dried and you soak them because they're already
Yeah.
split.
Yeah.
Can you imagine cutting all those little peas up?
Wow.
Adorable.
I'm sure they use a machine to split them up.
They must. And the other thing too, sometimes instead of potatoes, I'll use sweet potato because it gives color.
I don't like
I
the
love sweet
sweetness though.
potato.
Ugh, no.
I love it.
So
Yeah.
do split peas taste like green peas? Or is a split pea is a green pea?
I'll let you know after I make the soup.
It is. It's a pea. It's just
Okay.
split open. Yeah.
All right,
You
what
know
I'm
that
doing
joke?
now, just to give you guys an update, I'm slicing the potatoes that I've peeled now. And once I get these sliced, and then I'm just going to drop everything in this water. Then I'm going to add my spices, and then that's going to cook for like another 15 minutes, and then I'm going to be ready to eat.
This is Sonia.
Hey, Sandia.
Well, we've got all these cooks here. What does julienne mean? What
It's a cut. It's a type of cut.
Is that at the angle, or how do you do it?
Yes, it's at an angle.
Okay.
But things that are julienne are almost kind of like they're shredded. Not really fine shreds, but that's what it reminds me of.
They're
Like a carrot,
lengthwise.
like maybe
It's-
carrot salad. Would you say the carrots are julienne?
And I don't, maybe.
They're like
I was thinking
slivers.
more of
They're
like
long,
green
long
beans.
slivers.
Yeah, long slivers. That's
Yeah.
good.
Oh, long slivers. Oh, I thought I was all fancy cutting my carrots at an angle, and I thought, oh, this is julienne, so I guess it's not julienne.
No, you're just French.
No, they're
That's
like
all.
slivers.
You're being fancy, but it's not julienne.
It could be. It could be.
Okay.
You're being very fancy.
So what have the carrots that look like an accordion? You know,
Accordion?
potatoes
You mean
and
the
carrots.
potatoes, like French fries that look like an
Al?
accordion?
It
They're
looks
like
like an
a crinkle
accordion.
cut.
Al?
No,
Like
I
crinkle
know what
cut,
she,
kind of.
I know what she means. I
That's
understand why she's
crinkle
saying
cut, I
accordion.
think. I think that's just a crinkle cut.
Wait, was Al trying to say something?
Yeah.
He is.
It's just a cutting tool that you can buy, and the edges are crinkled just like you see the carrots or the potatoes. And you just cut the potato or carrot with that tool, and it gives you that type of an accordion cut.
Salad Master has a cutting blade that will do that also. I have one of those. They're little cone-shaped blades.
Yeah, I bought one from Pampered Chef. You can cut your cucumbers and then they look nice and fancy for your salads.
You I think Pampered Chef is such a great kitchen line.
Yeah, they have a lot of good kitchen tools. Oh,
Yeah.
Alexa, turn off. That's from when George told Alexa 10 minutes.
Alexa, stop timer. I apologize. I should have
George,
went on
it's
mute.
done. 10 minutes is up.
We really
Yes.
ought to compile.
Turn off.
And my water is boiling too. Mhm.
Yeah, this is done now. We really, I mean, pick out, I don't know, maybe that should be like a future project, all the things that you guys think are used. We talk about them, but it
Mhm.
would be nice to have like a real list, like.
You mean like
That's true.
utensils?
Like
Yeah.
the crinkle cutter and the can opener and the
Yeah,
all kinds of
especially,
stuff.
whatever tools that you got. I mean, y'all are y'all actually really use this stuff, It's like,
Yeah,
I mean,
You sound very surprised.
I buy stuff and don't know what to do with it. So
I used to have an inventory list of all
yeah,
the
there you
stuff that
go.
we would. Yeah, we had a teaching kitchen. Kathy will remember this, but we had a inventory list of all of the adaptive cooking devices and tools and.
Yeah, they still have my
As I say, I
pasta
think
pot.
I'm gonna invite somebody to these meetings who's gonna serve as a scribe for me to
Yeah, I
write
mean,
some stuff down that you people
it
come
can
up
be
with. Mhm.
it can be adaptive equipment. It could be mainstream, whatever, as long as it's something that we can
Things that
use,
work.
Right,
And,
right.
and then the other thought I had is like, I just got an Instapot recipe. I forgot. It was Vanessa was talking about Instapot, and the guy was like, he had a whole list of stuff that you should have in your pantry. And I guess all of you guys who cook regularly already have all this stuff, but it was a really cool list of like just things that you should have on hand, to. So it was kind of
That's a good idea.
I like
Okay.
that.
Maybe we could do like a whole It's iBUG'S Life call on adaptive kitchen appliances.
Or just kitchen utensils, yeah.
Kitchen utensils, kitchen
Hmm.
gadgets.
Future topic. Okay.
Kitchen gadgets 101.
Future
Yeah.
topic.
We
I have
have
to work on that.
we've touched on them in different classes, but never really
Mhm.
probably excluded. And that's the other thing. Y'all should be thinking about, future topics. And then if anybody wants to host one, we would love to have new people with new techniques. We still love George, but it's always neat to learn from different people.
Hey, I learned. Hey, I done taught me some stuff
I know.
tonight.
Got all these experts here, so. All right, where are we, George?
So
What's going on?
right now the water is boiling, so I'm throwing in all of the sauteed and sliced vegetables. And then I'm going to stir it up with a big cooking spoon. And then I'm going to open up my can of tomato sauce. Should open up a lot easier because it's bigger. That tomato paste can is very small, so that's why I think my battery operated one was struggling a little bit. And then I got to throw in my
sauce and paste. You got two tomato things.
I got them both exactly.
Oh, okay.
And then I'm gonna throw in I bought a bag of frozen mixed vegetables just so I can have more vegetables in there that I don't have. Like I don't have any green peas, so I know that's in the frozen mixed vegetables. I have corn, but I rather just use the vegetable mix. It just gives it more flavor. That's the reason why I do all of that.
Okay, this is
So-
Samia. Can I commit an act of, blasphemy? Could we add like sausage in there if we wanted to?
If you wanted to.
Yes, ma'am.
If you wanted to.
Sounds good.
Everything's better with sausage.
Right.
I have
The great thing about soup is you can add whatever you want.
You want, yeah.
Yes. I have 2 more days before I can be able to eat meat again. So that's why I'm looking forward to going to. Is that an Indian place that we're going to on Saturday?
Yes, we are going to an Indian place. Yes.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to that because I couldn't pronounce all of that stuff, but it all sounds good when he
Man, I wish I lived in Houston.
Me too.
Yeah, it's called the.
We'd invite ourselves along.
Yeah, come on over. Y'all are always welcome.
Houston's about 10 hours away.
Yeah, let Kathy drive.
Okay,
Y'all will
well-
be
well,
just fine.
If you start right
That
now,
was just
you'll
a
make
week
it.
ago.
I know that was enough.
If you start driving right now, you'll make it by the time Saturday gets here.
This is
I got one
Vincent.
of those.
Vincent.
Yeah, isn't Indian
Yeah,
food
George
primarily
can come to
vegetarian?
Tulsa.
Hang on, what, Vincent? Is it Houston what?
No, isn't Indian food vegetarian primarily?
He says, is it
Really?
I have never met somebody from India that eats meat unless Sandia, you eat meat?
Oh yeah,
yeah,
Oh, yeah,
Sunday eats
okay.
meat.
gotta have
Well,
it.
a lot of their dishes are chicken and lamb,
You don't
right?
eat a lot of it. You sit
No,
next to Sandia,
no,
you're going to
Know
get
me
full.
so well, George.
no.
Yeah,
The
chicken tikka
vast majority of
masala.
Indian
I'm
cooking.
waiting for it. So
If you
Well, a
sit next
bunch
to
of us,
Sandia, if you sit next to Sandia for
Vincent
dinner, you're
and
going to get full.
Jody, Vincent and Jody and I will carpool and we'll come out and see you.
That'd be fun.
there you
Okay,
go.
who's driving?
I just want
You
to
are
say,
Vincent.
Cat. I just have to tell everybody, Kathy
We
really
can get
does
a self-driving
exist.
car, Sarah.
A
And we
self-driving.
have a
Okay,
self-driving
The
I'll
car.
drive
iBug.
the self-driving car.
The
We'll
iBug
put the
Winnebago
guide
will
Right.
be
dogs in the
coming
front.
Bug
We'll put
Winnebago.
the
They
guide
can
dogs
run
in
in
the
front
front
of the
seat.
car.
with your
I
cane.
actually I
Yeah,
have what is it, a barrel of oil that
yeah.
delivers every day.
You are real muffled, Vincent. We can't hear you.
So,
There you go.
I thought I'd let you guys know it's starting to smell real good in this kitchen.
I'm
Ah,
sure.
I'm stirring
okay.
it up right now. I
I'm gonna
can't
make
wait.
soup tomorrow, but I'm gonna put chicken in it too.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Yeah.
I already got
that's
it out to defrost it.
this is Vincent.
There
Go
you
ahead,
go.
Vincent.
I think, like Tara was saying, one of the great things about making soup is that you can make the base soup as a vegetarian soup. But if anybody, wants to add sausage, you can cook sausages on the side, and they can add it to that soup. If they want chicken, you can do the same thing. So you can pretty much do whatever you want. Once you have the base of the soup, you can add pasta to it.
And
Yep.
this is another thing. I mean, can't you like, make it kind of concentrated and then freeze it? I mean, I know it's not fresh, but like you cook a lot. You were talking about for one person, or I
Oh.
get sick of it after a while. Like we freeze like spaghetti sauce. We make a
Mm-hmm.
bunch of it and then freeze half of it.
Mm-hmm.
So I
Yeah.
don't see why you
You can
couldn't do it
freeze
with
your
just
soup,
You can
so
do that.
yeah.
if it
Mm-hmm.
wasn't too
It doesn't
watery.
have to be a concentrate though. You
No.
can just
Yeah,
put it in
Put it in
a
a
freezer
container.
container and freeze it.
yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
it
This
works.
this is Vincent. One of the things that I usually try to eat everything within 3 days, so I don't usually freeze anything.
Uh-huh.
Because I have found, now my freezer it has room, and I know what is in there. But I remember finding, deer meat that was a year old or 2 years. Actually, one time it was 2 years old.
Oh yeah. Uh-huh.
So pretty much, by that time, all these products, they, even if they are frozen, they have still, all the nutrients, will go away, and the flavor will go away. So that usually I try to cook something that will leave within a week, and that's
Wow.
pretty good. I don't mind alternating, and in between I'll have something else. But for the most part, in order, I only eat meat maybe once every, you know 2 weeks or whatever. Maybe once a week. Fish also, once or twice a week. But for the most part, it's beans, all kinds of, vegetables, and the
Yeah.
one thing that I don't, because I also need to watch my cholesterol and everything, is I never try to avoid processed foods as much as possible.
Yeah. Yeah.
Bottom line, like as they say, if you cannot pronounce, what is in the ingredients, you don't want to have it in
Right. Right.
your
Right. Right.
system. So instead of, like,
And
juices,
Vincent, if your grandmother doesn't recognize it, it's not food.
absolutely. Uh,
All right. Anybody else?
Hey,
We're getting
I,
close to the end. Anybody want to say hello or tell us some tricks or tips
oh,
or?
what time
Sonia,
is it?
this is Janice.
Yes, ma'am.
So, just kind of related. Last week we went to Annapolis to advocate for our bills, and in meeting with one of the delegates, he's losing his sight, and he says he really likes to cook, and he's like, "Do you guys cook?" And we were like, "Yeah." How do you cook? And we were like, "We can do
Aw.
everything. We just do it
Yeah.
differently."
Should have
It was
told
like,
him
"Oh
about
my
this
gracious."
class, man.
Yeah, he was like we're from another planet. How do you cook?
Oh yeah. Oh, that's
Same
cool.
way we eat.
This is
Right.
question. The questions I get asked on a daily basis are similar to that.
Right. Right.
This is Terry.
Go ahead, Terry.
As I like to say, anything's easy when you know how.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's right.
True enough.
Okay, what I'm doing right now, just to get another update, I am sprinkling out in my Tony Sachets. I'm about to add in a little garlic powder and my seasoning, and I'm going to stir and put the lid on. And I'm thinking about 10 minutes, I'm going to be ready to eat.
So Vincent, I might have missed this. This is Desi, but how much water did you put in? Did you ever say? Like
I did.
George. Yeah.
I mean George, sorry.
Yeah, I said
Vincent talked last.
after I had put in the tomato paste and the 2 cans of that, I fill up the pot 3/4 of the way full.
Okay.
Yeah, and this is a 6-quart pot.
Right.
So yeah, 3/4 of the way full. That's okay. What time is it? I have no idea what time it is right now.
It's 8:45.
Okay.
What do you, George? What are you going to serve with it? Crackers or
I don't know.
He's gonna eat it out of the
Italian
bowl.
bread.
He's gonna eat it right out of the kettle.
I'm gonna pull
Italian
bread. I'm gonna scoop some up and put it in a bowl and gonna have at it. May eat 2 bowls tonight.
Here, this is another. I mean, I have all these practical questions. Like, how do you put all that? I mean, you're not gonna put that whole thing into your refrigerator. Don't you transfer it into something? And are you using special? How do you get it all in there without pouring it all over the counter?
I scoop it. I have a big cooking spoon and I have a bowl and I hold my hand. I hold the as I'm scooping, I'm holding like the bowl over the pot. So, because if it's going to waste, it's going to waste either in the bowl or back into the pot.
Okay, but
use a ladle.
To transfer the whole thing, like when you're gonna put it in your refrigerator, you're not gonna leave. When you're done.
No. When it's done, and when my pot has cooled off, I actually put the whole pot in the refrigerator.
Oh, you put
and
the
I put a lid on.
Okay.
Yeah, I put it at the bottom.
I don't always do that, but you do the same basic thing as you said about for filling your bowl. You just fill your freezer containers or your refrigerator containers by using a nice ladle. Yeah.
Okay, a big. I've seen those big cup ladles. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things.
Wait, hold on. One at a time. Go ahead.
Rosalie.
Yeah. About freezing the soup. Another way of freezing the soup, and it works out very well. You instead of putting it in containers that take a lot of room, you could put it in a big plastic Ziploc bag, and you can put it in your freezer, and you can bend it to fit, and it doesn't take a lot of room.
Yes, that's a really good idea. Use the freezer gallons.
George.
Yes. Who said George?
Could you say very slowly the name of the spice? The way it sounds. It's
Let me go figure out how to
Tony's.
spell this. Tony's Shatcher. Well, hold on. I'm gonna get you the exact spelling of it. 1 second. Let me wash my hands because I'm stirring and I'm sprinkling.
While you're waiting on that, I think Charlie had a comment.
Yeah,
Charlie from
someone
Oklahoma?
mentioned. Yes, someone mentioned about protecting the counters from spills. We do stuff over these 16-inch cookie sheets. They're almost like big trays, but that really saves the counters. And if you have granite countertops, it also keeps them from getting burn spots, especially if you have Formica countertops.
Good idea.
Great idea.
Great idea. I have granite countertops.
Well, we did this in our cooking classes too. I think Kathy will remember this, that we would put these big cookie sheets so we would save our counters that way.
Oh, yeah, this is something. My mom is, 86 now, and it's like I spent half the time cleaning the counter and trying to get all the stuff off. So that would be amazing to have I don't like sticky counters. That's my problem.
I agree with you.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Me too.
Well, we bought these big cookie sheets from Amazon. They're 16 by 18.
Wow.
This is Terry.
wonderful because I
You want to
have
make sure that your cookie sheets, well, I would suggest that you make sure your cookie sheets have edges because some you can
Oh
buy
yeah.
cookie sheets that don't have like a
Oh yeah, you
1
want
or
the
a
jelly
two
roll
inch
pans. Yeah.
no
Yeah.
edge.
the larger
So
ones that you get, the larger ones that you get do have it automatically on the large ones.
Yeah, they're
I've
extra
seen
tall
them not
sides.
automatically.
Yeah.
No.
Okay, hold on,
Okay,
hold on a second,
go
guys.
back to
Okay,
George. Here we go.
here you go.
Ooh, a fight.
Tony Chachere's. Tony is spelled Tony. That's one word. The second word is spelled CHACHERE''S.
Cheshire's.
Chachere's.
That might be hard to get. It might be a regional spice. You know,
It's from Louisiana. So Tony
you
and
might not
then
be able to get it outside of the.
CHACHERE''S.
I don't think I have that in Vermont and
And
New
you don't
Hampshire.
say, you do not pronounce it, you do not pronounce the Chachere's. You don't get the CH sound. You use like the SH sound when you enunciate it. Chachere's.
Cheshire.
Yes.
Cheshire's.
So what's the
Chachere's.
soup doing, George? It's
It's,
boiling?
I put the lid on it. It's boiling. So in like 10, 15 minutes, I'm going to be ready to eat. Of course,
So
I got
do
to
you
let it
have
cool
to
off.
mix it so it doesn't get stuck
So
or anything?
so what I'm doing right now, of course, I got it. There's a cleanup part. And since I'm the only one here, guess who's got to clean up?
Mm-hmm.
But Sandhya,
Uh-huh.
so like back to the cookie sheet thing, in addition to it helping you keep the counter clean, so there's less cleanup for those of us who can't see. It contains our things, so we're not looking all over the kitchen. It serves as like a workspace, you know.
Oh, yeah. Well, okay. Yes,
And
yes.
also, if you have like a big cookie sheet or like a big what's the other thing I was going to say? Not cutting board. Well, let's just stick with cookie sheet. That helps keep your stuff stationary as well. They're just staying in one area. And you're right. If they're in the spills, it'll spill in that cookie sheet in that area. It's like your workstation. Because when I used to teach a class, that's what we did. Everybody had like we had this big table, but everybody had the cookie sheet so they can keep everything organized and have everything in one area. So when it comes to clean up, you're either going to dump all of your excess stuff out of the sheet into the trash can, or just pick it up. And that way, all you got to do is wipe your tables down. And you wipe your
This is
tables down with
Terry.
either a wet rag or a Clorox white or whatever type of surface you have that whatever you use to clean up it. Go ahead, Terry.
It's called the culinary term is, and I know this only because I've taken a couple of cooking classes at one point 100 years ago. It's called mise en place. It's a French and it means mess in place is what it literally means.
Wow.
Mise en place.
Oh, getting so fancy.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
awesome.
This is something I thought a
Actually,
little
I
thing.
think
like,
the mise is put in place,
Put.
right? No,
I don't know.
My
Seventh grade
teacher
French.
said mess in place, but it could be. I don't know. I don't know French. I just know what he told me.
No, you're right. It is put in place.
Put in place. Oh, good
Put
to
in
know
place.
that. Thank
Put
you.
in place. Put in place.
Why are we discussing this term? What happened?
That's the term for the cookie sheet. So.
Okay.
Yeah, you put all your ingredients, you get them all out. So you got them all together. You put them on your cookie sheet that you're going to use. So and all your, your measuring cups and whatever. And it's called put in place or mise en place.
Well, this is Sonia. One other thought I had is we have a really busy granite counter. I cannot see anything on that thing. I mean, I can't see very well anyway, but it's a horrible counter.
Yes.
So if we could get a black whatever tray, then we could see maybe, or
Something that contrasts.
Yeah, the contrast.
Al,
Al, go ahead.
they do have a cutting board that one side is white and the other side is black, depending on what you're cutting or what your vision.
Once I bought those flexible things like there were cutting boards with different colors, and then you can hold it and pour it into something else. You know, like it's like a
silicone.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
yes, 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 yes.
That was
Those
A trick that I,
two-sided cutting boards are really expensive. It's cheaper to buy one white one and one black one.
yeah.
yes,
And
you're probably right.
and
Yeah.
I don't know how safe all this. I've become really paranoid about plastic because I think
Mm,
there's a lot of shedding plastic out there that we don't even know about. So,
yeah.
got to be
That
careful.
is
Well, the
true.
nylon ones are really nice.
Oh,
The heavy
nylon.
duty ones.
Another thing that I really like about the cookie sheet idea is when you're measuring stuff, like if you're getting ready to bake cookies and you're measuring flour and stuff, that contains all that too.
Yep.
So,
Yeah.
I have a trick, Al.
Uh-huh.
Go ahead,
Go
Al.
ahead.
I have a trick when doing that type of messy type of work. In the supermarket, there's a woman that helps us, and we tell her to save us the New York Times, especially the Sunday Times. And what we do is, with a few sheets of New York Times, we line the sink. And if we have to pour flour, breadcrumbs, or anything that's messy, we kind of do it in the sink. And whatever spills over into the paper, we just roll up the New York Times, and out it goes with the garbage. So we don't have to
Wow.
worry about cleaning up another tray or another
Oh,
other
wow.
device.
Very
that's a good
cool.
idea.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
we only do it once, and that's it. And this way, we don't have to worry about a tray.
how clever. How clever. See,
And
look
It's
at
same
how
all
thing
it's
much
with,
we've
okay as
done.
long as you don't forget and turn on the water.
oh no,
Paper mache.
no,
Here's another thing, everyone.
Uh-huh.
When you're working with flour, it just
flies.
flies all over the
Yes,
place. So what
Uh-huh.
I do is when I want to measure, I put the flour into a Ziploc bag. And so that way, if you're mixing or whatever you want to do, cooking or whatever, it saves you from having all that happen because once the flour gets all over your counters, it takes forever to get that stuff off.
that's why we use the newspaper a lot.
Yeah.
And the other trick that we use, we sometimes we get those Chinese soup containers. So if we're going to know that we're going to do a lot of baking or whatever, we kind of measure that flour for for the next project, and we have 2 cups in those Chinese containers, or 1 cup, whatever, and we store it like that. So this
That's a
way,
great
That's a good
idea.
idea.
It is.
another trick is, you just pull that thing out, the New York Times in the sink, and it makes it easy.
Wow. Well, who was speaking about the flower? The lady. What was your name?
It was Ruthie.
Ruthie. Okay, there you go. Okay, I couldn't
Yeah.
remember. All right, very good.
That's my prettier half.
Oh, you're prettier half. Okay, it's all coming
See,
together. Okay,
yes,
very
see,
cool. Very
all
cool.
the Oklahoma people stick together, and
Oh, we got that. Okay, very good. Nice to meet y'all. Okay.
Where are you guys from?
I'm
Oh, you're from Oklahoma. That's right.
Tulsa, Oklahoma,
Hmm.
and I'm retired from teaching cooking classes and all that stuff. I had about 43 years in there.
God bless.
Wow. Good for
God bless.
you.
Wow, that's
I'm
awesome.
an old guy. I'm an old guy now.
No,
So
you're not.
I
No,
just
you're not.
collected pennies.
Okay, just quick. Sorry to interrupt. We got 2 minutes. So, anything else, George? How are we doing?
Al,
Yeah, I was just about to say that it's 8:58, almost 8:59. What I want to do is thank you guys for sticking with me here. It's like been like 22 of us here, which is it's been a big group.
thank all of
This
you too.
the soup is
Al,
Can't wait to
boiling.
get rid of us so you can go eat.
Al's got a comment.
Yeah,
Go, Al.
I just want
wait,
to say,
go ahead, Al.
George, this is my first time here with the cooking show. Really enjoyed it, and thank you for picked up a lot of tips from you and everyone else. So I really, really enjoyed it. Thank you, Sandra, and thank
Absolutely.
you, George.
We
Well,
here every
thank
fourth
you.
To be
Thursday,
to be
every fourth
continued.
Thursday from 7 Central to 9 Central time. Where we don't always cook. Sometimes if I think of something that you guys could probably gain from that I do, as someone who don't have any vision at all, when it comes to like fixing stuff or repairing stuff or keeping things organized. That's what we come and discuss here.
Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Thank you,
Yeah,
everyone,
all
for the
kinds
tips.
of independent living skills. Sorry.
Sandy, I thought I was coming into the movie.
Oh, it's Thursday.
I'm only kidding. I'm only kidding.
Well, just a quick reminder. So tomorrow is the holdover, so come check that out, 8 p.m. And then the Apple Workshop where we're going to do show and tell on Saturday from 2 to 4. So we're just thank you so much, George. I mean, I really appreciate all that I'm learning from all of you guys. So hopefully I'll learn.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wait, she went. Say it again.
What, Janice?
What kind of soup that was?
Oh, could
Oh,
you
vegetable.
vegetable.
It's a vegetable soup. I use a pack of frozen vegetables that had like peas, corn, green beans, and I think broccoli was in it. I'm not exactly sure. Oh, there was some carrots in it. And then just to repeat, I sliced up some fresh carrots. I also sliced up some potatoes that I boiled, and I sauteed some onions. I just threw it all in there. My base was the tomato paste and tomato sauce with a little spices to it. Stir it all up, and it's almost done. I'm smelling it.
Hey, I
But
tried the zuppa, the zuppa. That's good too.
and what I wanted to thank everybody is thank you guys for all the tips you've given me because I've learned something tonight, and I learned to take my potatoes out of the refrigerator.
Good man.
And also don't put my onions in there until I actually cut them up and use it again. So I thank you guys also for teaching me.
All right, and we will post the recording of this, and George gave us the ingredients, so that was really helpful. So we can share that with y'all too, and be thinking of ideas of what you want to do or want us to do, because we just all are going to learn together. So thank you, George. Thanks, everybody.
No problem.
See y'all.
We
Bye,
enjoyed
everyone.
it.
Night, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Ending in
Good
5,
Good night,
4,
everyone.
3,
Good night,
2,
everyone. Thanks for all the
1.
tips.
Good night. See y'all tomorrow. Bye.
Yep.
Bye.
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 Good night, Kathy.